Hey folks, a quick review for you there on a movie I caught up on during the week. I was out with COVID. It finally caught up with me after 2.5 years. I avoided it. Nothing serious, just 1 or 2 days ill. And I just caught up on a few streaming TV shows and a couple of movies. Last night in Soho blew me away. I really liked this. I missed it on the big screen and I'm so sorry I didn't go to see it when it came out. Excuse me. This is directed by Edgar Wright, who had previously given us Shaun of the Dead and Baby Driver. And it stars Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, and it stars Matt Smith and the wonderful Diana Rigg. And of course, Terence Stamp, General Zod himself from the Christopher Reeve movies, makes an appearance in this as well. The film revolves around our character Eloise, who's a fashion designer, and she lives in the countryside in the UK. And she goes off to London to follow her dream. Now, we get a hint at the start of this that she has a little bit of the sixth sense because she sees visions of her dead mother. And this takes us on a very interesting tale indeed. When she gets to London, she moves into a bedsit with her college mates and she's completely out of place here. She's a really eccentric character and she is really played fantastically well, in my opinion, here by Thomasin McKenzie. She really is fantastic. She really is a movie star and I think she's got a great future ahead. And she finds a bedsit and a room at the top of this flat in London, which is owned by Diana Rigg's character, and she rents the room out for her. During that evening, or one of the evenings, she falls asleep and she finds herself back in the 60s. Now, this is where the film looks its best for me. It really does. She goes back to the 60s in what we think is a dream sequence, and she sees the 60s through the eyes of a character played by Anya Taylor-Joy, Sandy. And we're looking through her eyes of her experiences back in the 60s. And she comes across a very shady character in Matt Smith. I won't give too much away, but it looks fantastic. The 60s never looked so good here. The colour palette here is fantastic, and they really capture the essence here of the 60s. This is a horror stroke thriller, but I think it's more of a thriller here than anything. And it kept me guessing all the way through. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You're going to have to watch it yourself. But it did keep me guessing all the way through, and I found myself very interested. All the performances here are fantastic. And it was lovely to see Diana Rigg in a movie role before she sadly passed away. If you don't know who Diana Rigg is, she played Emma Peel in the 1960s TV show The Avengers, not to be confused with the Marvel Avengers. The Avengers was a TV show in England back in the 1960s, a fantastic show, and she was a fantastic actress in that as well. She was really great in that, and she absolutely looks stunning in that. And Anya Taylor-Joy here, as I said, looks fantastic. She looks very much the movie star here. She looks absolutely beautiful, and she plays the part really well of Sandy in the role. As all the cast here are fantastic, and Edgar Wright does a great job in directing this movie. As I said, it's a bit of a suspense all the way through. It'll keep you guessing. The ending I found satisfying. A lot of people complain about the ending of this, but I thought it was okay. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't twig it until near the end of the film, so that was a kind of a happy place to be for me in that movie. Usually in some of these movies you figure it out straight away, but I didn't in this, and I was pleasantly surprised where they went with the ending of this. So that's Last Night in Soho. I picked it up on Blu-ray. Get a chance to stream it if you can, or pick it up, as I said, on DVD or Blu-ray. You won't be disappointed. It's a very, very entertaining movie, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And one other thing I really liked about this is we often paint our past with rose-tinted glasses like the 80s. I look back on it, it's great. But the 80s weren't always great. As in this movie, the 60s weren't all they were cracked up to be, and she has a fascination, our character, with the 60s, and she quickly learns that things weren't as great as they appeared in the 60s. So that's Last Night in Soho. Pick it up, as I said, or stream it if you can. You won't be disappointed. So please subscribe to the channel, McCord Movies. I really would appreciate it, and slap a like and a comment on the video if you can. I really appreciate it. So take care, and thanks for watching.